We're getting ready to wrap this lecture up with just a few more miscellaneous concepts to finish things up. The first is the Iron Triangle. These are narrowly focused sub-governments controlling policy in their domains, out of sight or oversight of the full Congress, the President, and the public at large. These triangles are made up of a government agency, a congressional committee, and an interest group. A government agency, a congressional committee, and an interest group. The iron analogy comes from the idea that these are impermeable from the outside, cannot be broken through, and that the iron acts as a barrier to the thoughts of others. The triangle comes from the idea that these groups interact frequently and, potentially more troublingly, exchange employees regularly. Often an employee will start with a congressional committee, use the expertise, experience, and connections made there to move to the bureaucracy, and then use that experience to move over to an interest group as a lobbyist. Obviously, people can travel along any permutation of those three groups, but the major issue at hand here is that people often see the path to career advancement as moving within the triangle. Why is this problematic, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. If you're concerned with your future career, then you might have a different constituency in mind when you make decisions. So, for example, if you're trying to get a job as a fat cat lobbyist at some point, then you might work extra hard to please the people at the interest group, rather than serving the committee or the bureau. It's not hard to imagine a world where that sort of thing takes place. We see it all the time, right? The second way of visualizing the bureaucratic world is through the idea of what's called an issue network. This is an amorphous, ever-changing set of politicians, lobbyists, academic and think tank experts, and public interest entrepreneurs, someone like Ralph Nader, rather than the rigid iron triangle. It's a less formal network and is much more permeable. People come in and out. There's a constant shifting that makes these relationships less important over time because one will potentially not be involved with the committee or bureau long enough for the repeated game interaction to take place. Well, that's about all for today's lecture. Thank you all for listening, and next time we'll be talking about civil rights.